and welcome to episode 2 of
PnB Unplugged.
Oh, that was nice.
I've been working on my radio
I'm sitting
unplugged.
like a shrimp.
A shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so as of today, today, how do I say this?
Not today. I'm just kidding.
No.
Today.
So today,
Today,
episode 1 dropped.
we're recording on the
Of
day that
PnB
episode 1 dropped.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
I got you.
Thank you.
Mind
So
reader.
we are recording on the day that episode 1 dropped, and there were several people. There was one person that said she commented on the video, and she said that she was watching at work, and she had headphones in, and she laughed out loud several times, and that made me happy. And then there was another lady that said she almost spit her coffee out of her mouth.
That's the
beautiful.
goal.
Unfortunate, but
That-
beautiful.
Yeah, that is the goal. I am drinking my cup of coffee
What if
out
you
of
just stopped after that? I am drinking.
I almost said something bad. All right, WZAP. We live in Bristol, Tennessee, and there is a Southern Gospel station in Bristol, Virginia that plays Phillips and Banks. And so if you live in our local area, you need to tune in. Actually, it doesn't matter where you live because they have an app. And so you can go to 933.com, I think it is. And if you live in the local area, you can pick them up on 93.3 or 690 AM. Not really sure why you would listen on AM, only because you can't hardly hear it. But
What is the point of AM?
I'm not really sure anymore. Maybe I think it's more like emergency broadcasting. Like if something bad happens, then they can this is
Now, back in the day, you had the swap shop on AM, baby. And that was
Now,
a good station.
They still do the swap shop on that station in Elizabethton.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wait, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know what
The
swapping
swap
shop is?
Oh,
Okay.
What is swap shop?
Also,
can't
I
Google
think
it.
there's a noise gate
There
on
is.
my microphone or
It's
something.
on
I
mine
did. I
too.
turned it on. Is that bad?
No, turn it off. It drives me nuts.
Swap shop.
Stay in your mic, and it won't matter. Cause
Okay, well, I'll be right here.
All right, then we'll just do this. the whole
otherwise,
time.
you
Swap
get all
shop.
this noise.
Radio.
swap shop. Yeah, that's
Is it just like newspaper listings, but on
Yeah.
the radio?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just read the newspaper?
they
So-
do. On the
That's
we got
dumb.
I love it. If this guy listens to this, I'm not making fun of it, but I would go to my barber shop on Bloomingdale, which if you're not from there, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you've been to Bloomingdale, it's a whole nother section of Tennessee. So I'd go to the barber shop the whole time I'm sitting there, old school barber shop, and he would play the swap shop.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole time, we got a listing today for a Bass Bayliner.
Yeah.
Color blue with the sparkle metallic green. If you've got the Johnny built motor, now it needs a little work, but it's listed for $1,500. If you're interested, call blah, blah, blah.
Seriously. I mean, they sell guns on there.
Oh, yeah.
They sell, I mean, you can call in selling anything you want
Just on the radio?
Yeah.
on the radio.
It was great.
Mhm.
And you'd
And,
call the radio station. They'd be like, oh, we had a response. You could call the radio station and let them know, hey, I'm interested in that. I
Yep.
never did, but I always thought,
Was
wonder
this
what
like
the-
pre-internet?
yeah.
Because that just sounds like Craigslist.
You're
being-
You are definitely sounding like a 1995 baby.
I
right
mean,
now.
it doesn't
Tin-
make sense. It seems like an extra step.
Right, unnecessary.
Like you make the listing, that should be enough.
You know,
Right.
that's funny that she said, is that pre-internet? I was, this is the sad part. I was at a funeral the other night, but my cousin,
I'm not laughing.
she might be starting high school. She came up to me and I was like, ever tell you about the time your mom accidentally hit me in the head with a phone? And she was like, I mean, like an old phone. She was like, oh, like a flip phone? I was like, no, baby, like an old portable phone. She
Like
said,
those big antennas.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like a
Well,
Zach Morris.
I know
No,
what-
not the Zach Morris
No,
one.
like,
It
it's
was
like
the
a
one that like you
chunky-
put on the receiver.
Oh.
You had to recharge it, and you couldn't leave the house too far. It would get-
Yeah.
like Verizon does.
Yeah.
Jacob says. So
Oh,
And
Don't
but
get me started.
she didn't even go there. She didn't even know what that was. She said, like the old phone that like had the circle thing in the middle.
Like
I
a
was
rotary phone.
Hey.
yeah, babe, close
You know.
enough.
No, it's a rotary phone.
Oh no, I know that.
He
I'm
was talking about the other girl.
I was
I
talking to
got you.
her. I was like, yeah, honey, it was an old phone.
So anyway, back to what I was saying. Listen to 93.3 WZAP Glen Harlow on the radio. Carmen, what is the first phone that you remember?
Oh yeah,
In your like
You mean a
Remember,
cellular?
no,
phone? Oh.
like your house phone. Did you all have a rotary phone at home?
No, my
we didn't have a
grandparents
phone.
did. My grandparents had a rotary phone. Yeah.
Yeah, mine did too.
No, I don't remember if we had. I don't think we had a rotary phone.
Did you have one of those old timey ones?
What was that?
No.
What was the operator off of Andy Griffith?
Sarah, Sarah, get me Mount Pilot.
we just had one like a corded phone that had like a 50-foot cord.
Oh,
Yeah.
Walk all over the house with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom would talk for like 2 hours on the phone, and she would be wrapped
Twirling.
up in
Yeah.
that cord. And
my phone's dying. I gotta.
no, it never died. That was the
It had the
problem.
cord.
It even
Oh,
worked without
yeah, okay.
power, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
My dad would always be like, "I wish that phone died."
I remember when my dad, he had Dad was always on the road working, so we had the old school phone, always a landline, because like you said, power went out. You could call and talk to whoever.
Right.
Then he had the one that you'd pull up off the receiver. you know,
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this is cool, cordless.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember he had a pager, and I was like, my dad has a pager. He's an important businessman.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
who knows? It's probably my uncle. Like, get to work. But then I remember the car phone.
Oh yeah,
man.
brother.
When he plugged that thing up in there, I was like, we are rich, man. My
You
dad's
must
gonna.
have been.
And
We
then,
didn't
but
have a.
you know what's funny though? He said, I just borrowed it from your uncle. It's like, never mind, we're broke.
Hey, did you ever have a bag phone?
No. I do know what that is, though.
Do you?
We didn't have one.
So my mama had a bag phone,
Oh,
and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. It was like this little black bag, and
With a phone in it.
with a phone in it. I have. Y'all are
But
jerk.
I bet people don't know what it is.
Okay, so it was in a black leather bag, and it had a flap on it, and it just laid in the center console. I have no idea how it worked. I mean, just to be real with you,
I don't either.
I don't know how it worked, because it wasn't like it. I don't know if it ran on. I don't know. I'm afraid of sounding stupid here.
What is
but
it?
A bag
How does it
phone.
work?
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it,
like-
brother. I do it all the time.
How's it powered? How does it work? I don't understand that. But anyway, and then I remember the first cell phone that that my mom had. It was you say it Nokia or Nokia?
That's what I call it. That's East Tennessee. Nokia.
One time I was reading a book and it had a British narrator. So I was listening to a book. It counts. And it had a British narrator, and she said Nokia. And I was like, what
Nokia.
the heck is a Nokia?
It sounds like something Clovis would say.
So bag phones, a precursor to modern mobile phones, function by connecting to cellular network via radio signals. So like
Okay, so
kind of the same.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
All right, Carmen, tell them about the first time you used.
Stop picking on
I
me.
like this story.
What?
Tell them about the first time you had GPS on your phone.
Oh yeah, it
That's
was
cool.
a flip phone.
Uh huh.
The very first cell phone I ever had was after I bought it myself
Oh,
after
girl,
I graduated
Carmen.
from high school. And so I was going to college, and I had this flip phone. And they don't call it this anymore. I mean, obviously, you use like Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever, but it was called Verizon Navigator.
Oh yeah.
And you could pay $10 extra a month. And
Let's
that was
do
a
some
lot.
inflation calculating. What
Can
year
you-
was this?
It
This
was
was-
2004.
I am curious.
No.
to see.
No, 2007.
Close enough.
We'll just go somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
2000.
Anyway, but it cost $10 extra a month, and I was on a choir tour, and I was like the choir choir tour manager or whatever. So we planned out the thing. Well, we got stuck in traffic on some trip between one point and the next.
Diablo Pass.
All of those bus drivers, charter bus drivers, they knew they had the huge maps. You know what I'm saying?
Atlas, yeah.
and they knew everywhere they were going already. And I told my director, I was like, "Hey, this thing I got on my phone, look, it
Like new
says
technology.
it can get you there a different way, get out of this traffic." And he was like, "Wow, what is that?" And he was like, telling the bus driver, he believed us, and he took these back roads on this charter bus, and we got to where we were going faster.
What if you'd have been like some dirt road or something? Because the maps weren't as good as they are now.
Well, it could have gone very badly, I guess, but they didn't.
The inflation calculator only says $16.
Oh, well,
So
still.
it's not that much of an
But
increase.
can you imagine paying extra?
For
Every
Google
month.
Maps.
GPS? No, I just would get lost. I'd get lost anyway.
I remember
Actually.
the first phone that I bought was I think it's a track phone, and it was like $20 to put 50 minutes on the card.
Yeah.
So you make like 3 phone calls and play Centipede a couple times. And it's like, yeah. But
Slice
then I remember when I started working for my dad one summer, and I was allowed to have a Nextel. Do you remember Nextel?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, the Nextel was like, it was a cell phone. You could make calls, but even if you didn't have service, you could walkie-talkie between every Nextel phone. So we'd and they didn't even have to answer. So
That's
we would.
actually like,
That's cool.
why
It
did we
was-
do away with that?
I don't know because and when they got away, I was like, pfft. Now they get these crappy phones that do all this. You can get on the internet and stuff on because those you couldn't. It's just
Hey, they have these things now. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
Classic.
We're all shocked.
All right, if y'all ever, never mind.
in
So
a crisis situation. I know what's going on.
I'll be prepared. I might be dead, but I'll be prepared to die. Anyway, they have these things called rapid radios now. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
Rapid.
So it's
radio.
this company, and they're they're from Michigan, and it's basically like a nationwide walkie-talkie.
Isn't that
Oh.
like what are those people like? They're not called people. It's not a subgroup of people, but like the ham radio. What's the difference?
So like if I'm not really sure, but if
Ham radio is actual FM radio signal or is something like that,
Yeah,
right?
you
This
have
works
to,
on cellular
You've got to have a
signal.
Oh, okay.
license to run through ham radio. You can't just.
so like if you are in California, if you bought what's it called again?
Rapid radio.
Rapid radio. If you
Not
buy rapid
sponsored.
radio,
Whap a whap.
then you can be in California and I can be in New York and we can talk.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it doesn't like if all the cellular towers go down,
You still got.
you still got connection.
That's the way.
We should turn
Nextel
this into
was.
what's it called? Preparedness.
Doomsday preppers.
Prepper podcast.
I've started a hole in my backyard. It's
I do
about
have
6
a
inches
shelf
deep.
in my basement full of canned goods.
Well, the next step, what was fun about that is we always worked in the hospitals, my cousins and I. So my cousins, who are, well, they think they're hilarious, would wait till you got on an elevator. And of course, when you're a teenager, you're on there, pretty nurses, and you're like, just trying to be cool. And they would get on, you didn't have to like answer it. They could just hold down the button and start talking to you.
Oh
like
no.
And so one of our cousins, he was so embarrassed. He was standing on the elevator, and they saw him get on there with all these nurses and all these doctors, and they're going, Stephen, through the wall. He's like, oh God, he's trying to shut it off, freaking out. Stephen, where you at? He's
That's
like,
so funny.
please. But we never forgot that, man.
Now you talk about a doomsday prepper. Going back to that for just a second, you talk about a doomsday prepper, and I mean, my dad, bro, he's got that food and like
Like that Mylar bags of last 30 years or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
that's exactly what he has.
MREs? Yeah.
Kind of
And-
like MREs, yeah.
Dude, it has a shelf life of like 25, 30 years. He's like, now, buddy,
It's
when
just
this
calories.
he goes, when the zombie apocalypse comes, you can come over. You can come over to my house, see, and
I
it'll
hope
be
maybe I won't make it.
He's
I
got
won't
like
have to eat that. the
double barrel
rations
shotgun, AK-47 hanging on his
mounted
wall.
on the wall.
I'm not joking.
I know.
Okay,
That's awesome.
I've never really been into guns.
I've never got in one either, but I'm a little too big. So
Into guns.
Wow.
that's my one
Literally.
dad joke.
Oh, I got you.
I think I'm gonna get my carry permit. My birthday's next month.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
You're gonna get a carry permit.
Yeah,
Double
Oh.
O Ono, baby.
I'm smart. I could do it, and I
I'm
want to
smart.
get a little tiny 38.
All
The
right.
silence. I'm being serious.
Carmen, have you ever fired a weapon?
Yes,
I've
I
never
have.
shot a gun. I want to get. I swear.
Oh my gosh! I want to
maybe
get
like
my
maybe like a BB gun, but
not even left with your grandfather
no,
or on Thanksgiving or that was the thing
we don't
when I was a
believe in.
kid.
Our
Yeah.
family don't believe in guns.
Oh, I
I'm just
forgot.
kidding.
We fixed it.
That is not true.
My whole
No.
family, they're all like, look, this and that here. I bought it. I'm like,
Got like
okay.
30 guns.
Yeah.
My
What are
dad,
you going to do with all those? I'll just use them.
my grandpa was like a gun trader. He liked to trade. Actually, he liked to trade anything. And if he could make a buck on it, he was going to buy it.
That's
so,
fun.
but yeah, he would. He had a lot of shotguns. Let's just say that.
That's
Really?
awesome.
Yeah, he did.
They have like a. I know there was a safe down in your grandparents' basement. It was a big. It was a big safe.
Yeah, big gun safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So he traded a lot. Now, I mean, he's gone and
Right.
they've been dispersed or sold or whatever.
Yeah.
I think. But anyway, yeah, so it was a family tradition. You go out and shoot the latest gun or whatever on
Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Ours was, and I don't know if it's because my family is cursed to pick the worst cars possible.
It
But I was
still
like,
is.
Come out here and drive my new truck because my other one blew up a couple days ago. So, oh, sure. I was talking about that with I don't know if that's a family tradition. Carmen was talking about with her grandfather, but all of my uncles, my dad, everyone, and we've always, anytime they got a new vehicle, it was like a rite of passage, man. Like I got to drive Uncle John's truck.
Okay,
first, or
so
I got to-
that's where it comes from then,
yeah.
because I'll never forget.
Oh.
Every time you get a new car, Caleb
even-
calls me and he's like, "Hey man, I just bought a truck. It's a little 5-speed Toyota Tundra. I want you to come over and drive it." I'm like, why?
Okay.
He's like, "Well, just so you're used to it, and in case you need it sometime."
Which aren't you glad?
Like,
Because
okay, it has come in handy here lately. But
I remember my cousins were so mad at me. One time we were, I talked about going to Indiana.
I don't know why I thought you were
which-
going to say India. I
I've
talked
been
about
going
going to
to
India.
can
drove my truck
Can you
over there,
imagine
but-
Caleb in India? He
Y'all
would have
got
so
to
many
eat over here.
friends.
Oh, I would. Oh man, I'd be eating dinner everywhere.
They'd make you the king of India.
well,
Is there a king?
I don't know. Let's Google it.
All right.
so
Keep talking.
wow. So my Uncle Larry gets a brand new truck one time. He can tell the truth about this, and my Aunt Janice. Okay, got a brand new Silverado. It was like a big thing. Like
Oh,
everybody's
Chevy?
Oh yeah. And so I
no.
don't tell Jimmy. Don't tell Jimmy.
Yeah, don't
But-
tell my dad.
So, anyways, we're going to Indiana. Nobody's allowed to drive this truck because it's brand new off the lot. We get we got back to Jonesville, Virginia. That's exactly where we were at. And my Aunt Janice pulls over. We're coming all the way home from Indiana. Every one of us dog tired. And she said, "You want to drive my new truck?" I said, "Yes, I do." Man, she said, "Don't you dare tell your cousins." And I was not allowed to until they drove the truck.
Oh, that's
And they're like,
awesome.
so here they were gloating to me. I was 15 years old. They're gloating to me. Got to drive Uncle Larry's new truck. I said, "Did you?" Because I drove it 2 weeks ago. And they're like, "Man."
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, so talking about cars, and it wasn't like this was a really nice car or nothing, but the very first car that I got, it was kind of a rite of passage. Like it was
Oh,
passed
yeah.
down. My dad bought when he bought it new in like 80, I don't know, 2 or something like that. Anyway, and it was a yellow.
You remember that in autumn 1982?
No, I don't.
You weren't even a
You don't
twinkle
even
in-
remember 1980s.
Okay, you're right.
I don't either. I wasn't alive. But so he bought this car new. It was yellow Subaru 4-door. I don't even know the name of it. It didn't matter. And it was a stick shift,
Oh, yeah.
and it had a hill brake.
I don't even know
Oh,
what that
that's
means.
awesome.
It was great. And so my dad drove it, of course. And then when my sister started driving, she drove it. And then when my brother started driving, he drove it. And then when I started driving, I got to drive
Holy
it.
cow.
And then I wrecked it and killed it, and everybody,
Oh.
yeah, everybody hated me after that for that.
Carmen, you took the car.
What'd you call
yeah,
it?
my sister was like, hey, listen, I'm really glad you're okay, but what did you do that for? I was like, I'm sorry.
I don't even know what a hill brake is.
Okay, so like if
there's
you're
an e-brake, right? It's different than that.
Yeah, it's not an emergency brake. It's like the brake pad had an extra
Yeah.
thing on it where you pushed your heel down and it caught the brake for you.
It had like
So
a
you-
brake
No.
in the pedal, so you could.
Yeah, so you could go, you could stay on the
So
clutch.
you have 4 pedals, essentially.
No,
I mean, it's part of the brake pedal.
look it up, babe.
It's part of the
Heel
brake pedal.
Yeah, you're
Heel.
gonna
Hill.
like this.
Heel brake.
That's so
Did
awesome,
it keep
Carmen.
it from dying on it? Is that what
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying.
for?
You could keep your foot on the clutch
Right.
and the gas.
Mhm.
I
On a
can't
hill.
even-
And then when you hit the gas, it just automatically let off.
That is so awesome.
Is it called hill brake? Like, is that what that it's called?
That's what my daddy called it.
Hill brake.
Heel,
Enter.
like HEE.
Nothing.
Nothing? Well,
No.
it did exist.
You sure it wasn't heel, like HEEL?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. That's not what my. I don't know. We're country. How do I know which
Heel
one he was
brake.
saying?
That's a heel brake right there.
That's that heel
No,
brake.
now it's
You
just showing
said.
pictures of like inline skates.
Oh, Carmen forgot she was on actually
she
on
was
skates.
actually, yeah, that was part of the story.
Anyway.
Okay, so let me tell you about. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Were you
I'm
done?
done.
Okay.
Hill brake.
So the first car that I ever had was a 1992 Chevy Lumina
Oh yeah, baby.
with
Those
a
Luminas
luggage
are right.
with a luggage rack on the back, and I looked like a goober pulling into Sullivan Central High School. Did you say still do?
Yeah. I can't. This doesn't exist. I'm convinced. Hill brakes.
I'll
I'm,
find it.
I'm
I'll
moving
share
on.
it.
Moving on.
So I started calling it the Luminator,
Oh,
Mhm.
and I painted it gray. Why would you pay for a paint job on a 1992 Lumina?
How old were you? That'll make sense.
Like 16.
they have a tape deck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
Tape deck. And I was rocking like Garth Brooks.
Look at my
So the interior was maroon.
It's
And I
beautiful.
got a front tag from like Myrtle Beach.
Oh my gosh! And you
What
thought
do
you
you-
were so cool.
Oh, I thought it was so cool. What is
Yes,
that
man.
called? What is it called when they do that?
Airbrush?
Airbrush, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
It was airbrushed on
I
there.
do
It said-
love airbrush.
It said the Luminator.
Oh my gosh! Did you get it at like Walmart or something?
No, I got it at Myrtle Beach. I had
Oh,
somebody
you just said that.
airbrush
You
it.
just said that. You remember when they had those at Walmart? Like those, you go into Walmart and like at the front they have like the eyeglasses place
Yeah.
and the insurance place. Well, they had airbrush places
Yes,
at
they
Walmart.
did.
You remember that?
I
Yep.
do remember that actually.
Yeah.
So
You know,
then
my- Go ahead.
I want to finish this, okay?
You finish.
Sorry.
You
I'm
go
just
ahead,
kidding.
sir. I'm apologizing.
So when I was like, was I 16, 17, something like that, my dad, he was being super cool because I was trying to be cool about driving the Lumina, right? But I was 16 and I really wanted a girlfriend.
Oh no!
And you can't get a girlfriend in a
Carmen didn't
Lumina.
like the Lumina.
No, it wasn't that. I hadn't
The
met her
mix
yet.
of the Lumina and the Pontiac, it just didn't. It was
Yeah.
too much.
So
Did you say Pontiac? Is that what you said?
Subaru.
Subaru.
So he bought me this little Hyundai Accent. It was brand new, bro. 2006, something like that. 2005, 2006. It was a 5-speed
You gotta make it.
hatchback. They don't even make Accents anymore, Hyundai Accents.
No, but they're nice cars.
Why is it
So-
spelled like that? Go ahead.
I got it, and I had just gotten the first oil change. And so I had like 2,100 miles on it. I was coming out of Central, turned right. I was headed home, and I looked down at the clock. I was listening to what's that?
Highway to. I'm
No,
kidding.
no, no. That group that sings "Arise My Love."
New song.
New song. And there was a song on the song that was playing was Journey to Eternity.
God said, "Bet." You ready?
And I was driving down 126, headed back towards Bluntville, and I looked down at the dash to see what time it was. And when I looked back up, I had drifted, and I was not on my cell. There wasn't no cell phones. I had a flip phone at the time. So I had drifted off the road a little bit, and I was trying to ease it. My dad had always told me, don't overcorrect, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
Just ease yourself back onto the road. And so I was like trying to ease myself back onto the road, and I look up, and there was a sign right there. I mean, it's going to hit the sign. So I just jerked it like that. And when it started fishtailing in the middle of the road, I flipped over a barbed wire fence into a middle of like a cow pasture. So I like crawl out of. I landed on my wheels. So I like crawl out, and I come up beside the car. There was the hood. There was a perfectly sized, like perfect shape of a circle. The radiator cap was under so much pressure that it just exploded and it went straight through the roof of the car.
My brain, you were talking about crawling out of that. My brain went to Mulan. I live.
When Mushu comes back.
I live.
So yeah, so my
Journey
dad,
to
I was
Eternity.
so, and yeah, that song's playing, My Journey to Eternity.
Still jamming.
I was like,
You're
oh my
upside down in a
gosh.
cow field.
God trying to get my attention right now. So I was like, I
Oh,
crawl out
man.
of the car. I was so afraid to call my dad.
Well, yeah.
I know that feeling, bro.
2,100 miles.
Oh, that's
It's total.
rough.
It's gone. It's over with. I called my dad. It's like, Dad. He's like, what's wrong? I said, I totaled this car. He was like, all right, I'll be right there. So he hangs up. He comes right to me. I was so afraid. And he goes, well, old buddy, this is kindly my fault. And I said, what? I was like, secretly, I was thinking, yes.
You're right.
He goes, this is kindly my fault. He said, I should have never bought a 16-year-old boy a brand new car.
Thanks, Dad. You can kill me now. The car didn't
Yeah.
do it.
And but he was super cool about it. And
can
so
see
then
that.
he let me
Jimmy
drive
is-
he let me drive his truck, and I put dual exhaust on it and Flowmasters, and I'd roll into Central's parking lot, throw it up into neutral. Wow! It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was
boy.
really awesome. So I mean,
Well,
it all
I'm glad
worked
you
out.
didn't die in the cow pasture.
Me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
I'm
Me too.
glad you live.
I
think-
love that movie.
We hadn't been dating that long, I don't think, when you called me and told me that you told the car, but you totally downplayed that.
Now,
Fine.
Really downplayed that.
Before we move to Autumn's car or her car experience, I need to know about. I know this is going to lead to another story, but I'm good with it. You drove the white van for a while to college, right?
Yeah, I drove
Where
a
did this come? Where did the van ever come from? Because it lasted quite a while.
Your grandparents.
So my grandparents bought it for me, actually.
Oh, cool.
And I drove it while I was in college. I can't remember why, but I did drive a minivan in
Probably
college.
better on gas, old buddy, than the pickup.
And
It was helpful.
it was very helpful.
I believe it. I love.
And my girlfriend didn't even break up with me when I was driving a minivan.
What up, bro? You got that van?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe it's something about vans because
Hey.
Caleb and I went on our first date in this terrifying death trap Astro van. The like roof, what's that called?
The
Not-
liner.
The liner was like falling off.
Oh my
I
god.
No
forgot about
air.
that.
It leaked. It smelled so bad.
Yeah, you should have known. That was some red
That was
flags.
a red flag, and I
Her
should have
brother-
listened, but here we are.
I showed up. I wasn't even in my van. I was in my dad's van, who also he's a van driver. And her brother, the first time I came over, he's like, I don't think
He
I
rolled up
like
in
this
that-
dude. He drives a van.
Yeah, it was scary. Some of the seats were out of it. It was, yeah, it was.
So what's your car experience, babe? Was it the Cobalt
Mhm.
or would you consider taking Grammy's car in the middle of the night?
One time I was like 15. I had my permit, so I couldn't have been too young. I used to live with my grandma, and she had this Pontiac Vibe. Y'all remember those?
Pontiac Vibe.
It was a
Oh, yeah.
vibe.
It was a vibe, and I was like, I'm hungry. It was. I can't remember if it was real early or if it was right before Pal's closed. But I was like,
No way.
I have my permit. And I was like, Allie, my cousin Allie, she's a couple years younger than me. I was like, y'all, you want to go get some food? She's like, can we do that? I said, yeah, why not?
Well, we're going to.
We live in Gate City. It's not like who cares. So I stole my grandma's car when I was like
Oh my
15
gosh.
and went to Pal's and came back and I was fine.
So
It's fine.
nothing even happened?
No, but one time my other grandma, she's dead, but God rest her soul. I'm getting ready to confess. She had a Cadillac. I don't remember what kind of Cadillac it was. It was white. And it was in the driveway, and one of the windows didn't work, I think, or something, and it was down, and it was raining outside, and I was like, oh, I'll go pull the car in for you into the garage. I ran into the garage with the Cadillac. Yeah. And then I tried to back up, and it was like, you know how if you wedge it, if you go the wrong way, it gets even more wedged?
yeah.
I did that. Yeah. That was probably before I had my permit, honestly. And no, our family doesn't live in that house anymore, but the last time I was over there, there was still like a scuff on the
Oh my
garage from it.
gosh.
Mhm. So I've had great experiences with cars.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to go back to something I remember about. What's your earliest experience of like Walmart?
Oh, I got a good one.
Because when Autumn was talking about the spray, like the air spray sign up front, I was like, I completely forgot about that. But when I was a kid, I'm talking about second to getting saved.
Oh, no.
I walked in there and there was a McDonald's in the back
Yeah.
corner, and I was like, what happened? And my dad's like, oh, yeah, they got McDonald's in here now. I was like, you mean every time we grocery shop, I'll get
We
a
can eat
cheeseburger? No,
cheeseburgers?
that's not what that meant, because Dad was like, I ain't buying you a cheeseburger. But a lot of times I would get a cheeseburger when we went to the grocery store. I was like, yes, I love Walmart.
I have a story about Walmart. The first time, well, probably not the first time, but the first real memory I have of Walmart, I was 5. I was in kindergarten. And my mom, I think it was just me and my mom that went. It doesn't matter. I was riding on the edge of the grocery cart, and she had taken her hands off of it, and so the grocery cart was empty, and it fell over, and I broke my arm inside of Walmart.
Oh my gosh.
I knocked the buggy over, broke my arm.
Brutal, man.
And she was probably like,
Oh,
"Get
she was
your
mad.
butt up right
Yeah.
now."
Pick
and-
that buggy up.
Literally. And I have like really bad health anxiety and like white coat syndrome. It's horrible. And so I was like, it's fine. My arm's fine. It's actually fine. Oh my gosh. Intrusion. But I was like, I'm good. I don't need to go to the hospital. And then like 2 days later, we went to the hospital and it was
Come
broken.
on in.
I'm so sorry about that.
She's
Man.
here. Say hi.
Hi.
She went to church because it's Wednesday.
It is.
We didn't.
Now, when I was
Can you shut
growing
the door
up,
back, please?
She has youth on Wednesday.
to this, I mean, before Super Walmart came along.
Yeah, that's
was
what I
thinking,
mean. My earliest memory of Walmart was when Walmart was like Kmart.
Did you do, okay.
You know what I
'cause
mean?
You grew up in
Like-
Bluntville. Was there a Walmart here, or did you come to Kingsport?
Okay.
I didn't know anything
All right, bro.
outside
You know where
of Kings-
KFC is right up here?
Yeah.
Okay, you know where that it's like a call center now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Walmart.
Get out of here,
Yeah.
man.
And that empty parking lot beside it,
Yeah.
Teleperformance or whatever it is, there was a food line there.
Get out. I did
Yeah,
not
bro.
know. It's always been, before
that
it was
was-
that Tele place, it was an empty building. So,
Mhm. That was
Oh.
Walmart. And
that
it,
close to Kmart, man?
yeah,
That's so awesome.
And
Yeah.
Kmart outlasted it.
it did. Well, they built the super center out on,
That's
on
fair.
Volunteer Parkway.
Oh,
so-
yeah, whatever.
That's fair.
Super Center.
And then Kmart, I mean, you know.
I'll be honest with you, though. When Super Center came, I was like, oh, my gosh,
It
man.
was
like,
wild.
We're in a city.
When I
Yeah.
lived in Oklahoma, I don't know if it's changed now. It probably has. But when I lived there, it still wasn't a super center. It was like a regular Walmart.
Oh,
was
wow.
little.
Like the
Mom-
red and blue lettering.
I remember my
Mhm.
mom would complain. She'd be like, I don't like how big that Walmart is. I just like the old one. I like that old Walmart. I don't like that big one.
well, my
It's just
aunt's
something ain't right about
something
that.
ain't right
It's the
about
devil.
It's the devil, Bobby Boucher.
Want to get out there and get all flashy. Get your tires changed in there. That ain't godly. But I remember a couple of my aunts worked at the old Walmart in Kingsport. And then
Stonegate? That's where I broke my
Stonegate.
arm.
Ah,
Yeah.
I remember going there, and then a couple of them worked at, when they built the super center, some of them moved over there. So it was like, I just went to both to visit them. You know?
What about you, Carmen? Any
Yeah,
Walmart
Carmen,
stories?
what's your Walmart story?
I really don't have any. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, oh, I don't remember.
What's your Walmart trauma?
I don't
Was
think I have any trauma.
Were you ever mesmerized? Now, this was
With
another thing.
Walmart.
Seriously.
No, a Walmart
There's some
trauma.
shared trauma.
One time I took a candy
Yes,
bar.
we do.
No.
But I remember too, like the first time I ever saw automatic doors. I grew up in the sticks, man. So when I walked up to it and they opened on their own, I was like, "Oh, this is Star
That's the
Wars,
devil.
man. We've entered the spaceship."
It's like something off of the Jetsons. Go,
yeah,
hey, George Jetson.
but it was like, and oh my gosh, I hate to tell myself, but like, I remember the first time I rode an elevator, I kept riding it like this is free. I rode with everybody. What floor are you going to?
It's like
Soccer-
Buddy the Elf. He
That's what I was
just
gonna
presses
say.
all the buttons.
in the Empire State Building.
And then I remember Kingsport Mall when the first time I saw the escalator,
escalators.
and I was
They don't
like,
even have those anymore.
I know, I hate that was
took
my
them out?
favorite part of going
The
to
Kingsport Mall literally has nothing in
They
it.
took the pretzel place out too.
There they get the
I got
Stairmaster.
beef with Annie Ann's pretzels, by the way. I need to let the world know about it. Annie Ann's pretzels,
Bring back the garlic.
they got rid of garlic parmesan pretzels, ranch pretzels, and sour cream and onion pretzels.
All I care about is the cinnamon sugar pretzel.
They have the almond one. No, they don't have that one, I don't think.
What?
I could be wrong.
Now Carmen's
They
got
have,
Carmen's got
they have
beef.
the regular pretzel, a pizza one, and the almond one.
the almond one's pretty good.
Now we went to Soaky Mountain.
I'm annoyed.
Soaky Mountain Water Park in Pigeon Forge earlier in the week, and they had a pretzel place.
You're talking
there.
about pretzels, though. They're like ginormous.
Yes.
Oh,
That's what I'm
dude.
talking about.
Oh,
and they had the
Very
cinnamon
large.
sugar and
Pizza pretzels.
pizza and the regular salted ones.
Did
with
they
the
have
cheese.
ranch?
No,
I don't think so.
nope. Just those three.
I'm real sorry about that.
Oh, wait, no, the jalapeno pretzel, too, though.
I can handle that.
you were talking about a food line, which I love food line, okay? But again, I grew up in the sticks. I got my license when I was 14, so the only thing off of my route that I was allowed to drive to was food country. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
had a food country too, didn't you?
Absolutely, right beside the Video Magic, baby.
Yeah, we had a Video Magic inside the food country. Yeah, bro.
Hey,
Yeah, food country. I remember. I don't know why I have these I don't know anything else my mom got from that grocery store, because as soon as we got in there, I went and started looking at movies. And the other thing that I always got when we went in there was a giant bag of corn chips.
Carmen just had a spark.
Memory unlocked. Food
yeah.
City used to have movies.
Yes, it did.
And they had those little Dixie cups of popcorn when you would go
Yes.
in.
I totally forgot about that.
Kids, I know I'm going to sound old right here, but kids today will never know the joy of your dad coming home on a Friday night
Yeah, baby.
after
I
work,
know exactly what you.
and he's going to be like, "Hey, buddy, you want to go to Blockbuster?" I'm like, "Yes!" It's like you've won the jackpot.
Yeah.
We'd go to Blockbuster, and my dad was always after the deal.
I
So-
love this story.
They have like, at Blockbuster, if you buy a certain amount of movies, you get one free or what.
Oh,
so he'd
yeah.
go and get like 7 movies. And he'd watch them throughout the
Dad,
week.
we got Friday and Saturday, man. That's,
My dad loves movies. In fact, now he buys them on,
iTunes.
is it?
Right?
Or
Amazon.
iTunes, I
I think
think.
it's on iTunes.
He told me the other, "Oh, buddy, you want to watch a movie?" I said, "Yeah, Dad, what do you want?" "Well, I've got about 1,365. I'm like, "Are you
I have-
serious?"
Caleb always asks me, "Have you seen such and such movie?" I have seen no movies.
Oh, you
I
don't
don't-
like movies?
No, my attention
No.
span is too short.
Oh.
Even if she watches a movie with me, she'll catch glimpses of
I
it, listen
can't.
to it while she's doing something,
Yeah.
or like she already knows it well enough to. Oh yeah, Carmen, you can chime in there, Jack. Well, I know what
Carmen
you're
doesn't like movies either.
She does like movies,
I do like movies.
but you like TV shows a little better, I think.
They're
Yeah,
over faster,
they are.
and
But tell them what you used to do to me in college.
What?
Okay, so Carmen
I'll tell them
lived.
what you do.
Carmen lived in an apartment when we were in college, and Austin and Stephanie Mitchell, our dear friends
just
from
name drop.
Florida, they
They don't
are.
want to be included. I'm
They were
sure.
some of our best friends, and we were always together when we were in college. Austin and I were roommates, and Stephanie and Carmen were roommates at one time, weren't you?
We were at one time.
At one
yeah.
time. And so they would come over, and we'd all sit down to watch a movie. I mean, it's my girlfriend. I'm like, there's 4 people in the room,
I'd like to hold your hand.
accountability. So I wasn't like, I just put my arm around her, sit and trying to watch a movie or whatever. Next thing I know, she's up washing the dishes in the kitchen.
That's so me.
And then never came back.
My favorite thing when Carmen's washing dishes.
Am I that ugly?
She's the whole time she's listening to them. What happened?
If you were
I
in
do want to
here,
know.
Why do you do that?
I don't know, but it makes a whole lot of sense why Olivia watches movies while playing with slime and never looks up. That makes a whole lot of sense now. I thought it was your fault. But I don't know.
just take
But
it.
I think it's mine because, she'll sit there and she'll be playing with slime, never looking up at the movie. And I'm like, you're missing, did you see that part? No, yep.
Well, I watched her on, I don't remember what she was watching, but I never paid attention to that. She does do this right here, and then all of a sudden she'll go, wait a minute, what just happened? She'll slide it back and watch that one piece, and then
She's back.
right back to
She's
slamming
in
it
there,
up.
by the way. She can hear us talking trash.
Well, cool.
We actually did never go to Blockbuster, by the way. We had something called Robert's Video.
Oh, yeah.
It was down the road.
In Indian Springs.
Mhm.
Robert's
Right down
Video.
from Greenwood.
Yeah. Greenwood Market.
If anybody is watching from our local area, Greenwood Market, which doesn't exist anymore. What's it called now?
I don't know.
I don't know
can't
either.
remember.
I can't remember.
It's
but
not as memorable, I'll tell you that.
It's not. And that was my first job.
Yeah, he came home smelling really
And
Greasy.
Oh, been there.
that was my first job. We made roasted chicken and potato wedges and hot dogs and hamburgers, barbecue, all kinds of stuff. It was great.
You know, my sister worked there when she was.
I do. Yeah.
I loved eating there. I'll be honest with you. That's probably what's wrong with me.
They
today,
had
but-
barbecue too. That's what I like.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I heard chicken. Sorry.
I said all those things. And then I said
Oh.
barbecue as well.
Oh.
She was doing dishes while you're talking.
Barbecue was good.
Yeah.
I'll never forget somebody throwing a knife down into the dishwater.
Ooh.
And I was down in there washing the dishes and I cut my hand.
In that dirty water.
Oh, blood everywhere.
Nice.
Somebody down here? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I love Greenwood. That was awesome. Did you all go to? There was another place when I came up to Dad's. Now, Dad, he would spoil us a little bit. I'll just be honest with you. So we'd come up. We'd either go to the skate in, which Carmen knows what I'm talking about, or
I know,
Dad would
in
take
Kingsport?
us to. Yeah.
That was still there when I was little.
Yes. So we went there. Either there, we might go bowl at Warpath before they tore that down.
Mhm.
They didn't tear Warpath down.
Not
This is
Bro,
the
Warpath.
other one.
What was the other one?
The one on-
Interstate.
Yeah, Interstate.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bowl.
Interstate.
Bro, don't talk about Warpath.
All
I'm
right,
just
bro.
kidding.
Calm
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So, but we had those two options. But if we were staying home, we went to Movie Stars,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and
We
they
did
did
Movie
the
Stars.
deal like you
Yeah.
said. Now that was the thing. We each got to pick a movie. But I never caught on to this. Dad would be like, "Yeah, but we've seen that one. Why don't we?"
You know how,
he
like,
kind of corral you into the one he wants you to.
you know how, like, Blockbuster was so well lit and it was, like, so nice. And, I mean, some of these places were a little shady, though.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
bro.
Like, I
Take
remember
as many movies as you want. No, thank you.
I'm good.
there was a movie store in between exit 5 and exit 7 on the Lee Highway.
Mhm.
And it was like in this little house. I think I've shown you it before as we've went by. But it looks like a house. And
That's
you went
red
in
flag number
and
one.
it had like wood paneling, 70s wood paneling on the
Welcome.
wall. It was very dimly lit. There was a back room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we never, obviously, me and my dad, me and my dad,
Don't go in there, old buddy. There's not toys in there, okay?
So,
That's not the child care room.
so,
Care room.
we would go in there because the movies were like
Cheaper too, yeah.
$1.50.
Yeah, man.
Whereas Blockbuster is like $5 for a new release. So Dad would always he would take me in there a lot. I remember. You ever seen Hunt for Red October?
Yeah, man.
Dude,
I love that movie.
that's where we got. That's where we saw that movie.
Never
from.
seen it.
Oh,
Hunt
it's
for
a
Red
good
I've
one.
never
It's
seen
about
it either.
submarines.
Well, I
That's
don't know how.
Not a good selling point.
My aunt.
You ever seen this movie about submarines?
It's like a war
It's
movie.
got water in it. It's got boats.
You'd love it.
It is a good movie. I love it. We did. I don't know. You unlocked a memory for me. Thank you.
So it feels like the theme tonight is nostalgia.
Yeah, I like
Nostalgia.
that.
It
So
feels good.
I don't know how my aunt would do this, and I hope I'm not ousting her right now, and I'm not going to mention her name. She knows who she is if she watches it. But every time, I'm like, there's a new movie in theater. She's like, I've already got it.
You pirated
Oh,
it.
she pirated.
I was
Yeah.
like, what? She's like, and not a trashy version. I mean, like, I got
You ever
a good
download the versions where people?
I got it in.
I was
Yes. I on LimeWire.
Yeah.
like, LimeWire. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. You know what? You ever seen Lion King 1.5?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, so it kind of looks like that.
Yes,
You know.
where they like pop up. In
Yes.
The, mhm.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Well, so I remember like sometimes if we were like, no, please, Aunt, because after that, then it was like, well, we're not paying to go to the theater. Our parents would drop us off at our aunt's house. But like, she's got a she had the giant, huge, not like a big flat screen. I mean, like the full size giant.
That's
heavy
awesome.
TV. I was
She's like charging admission.
come on in here.
Yeah.
2 pieces of popcorn.
I'm watching you, Caleb.
No, but so and that was fun. But every once in a while we'd be like, I remember, what was it, Godzilla or something? It was one of the dinosaur like big movies or whatever came out. And we're like, can we please go to the theater and watch this? And we didn't go to like Tinseltown. We didn't go to Kingsport.
You went up there above Central, didn't
Yes,
you?
I did. I knew you'd know.
You went right up there above Central.
$5, baby.
$5.
Cheap
Yep.
one.
What was it called? Tri-City Cinema, right?
Yes. And it was a great thing. They give you a giant thing of popcorn for
Carmen.
nothing.
Didn't you tell me one time that your mom and your brother, it was like a tradition to go to a movie on Christmas or something like that?
Mm-mm.
We
That's
did.
That's your other wife.
That was his first wife.
Oh, yeah, that's my first wife.
Now, my
That
cousin,
was
we
fun.
did that. My dad
Yeah.
was big about Thanksgiving. We'd go like have dinner with the family, and then we're like, let's get out of here. We'd go to the movies,
Oh,
and so that was fun.
that's cool.
But
What
yeah,
was anybody remember the first movie they saw in theaters? by chance?
Monsters Inc.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see when
what
that
was
came
the
out.
First one I watched. Oh, I tell you, I know exactly what it was. I went on a school trip in Greenville, Carmen. Do you remember the Caprice? Not the
Capri?
Caprice Theater. Not the Capri. Where Long John's all stuff is on 11 There was a shopping
2001.
center. I don't know what it is now, but there was a little movie theater over in the corner.
It's our time.
Anyways, we went over there and I watched, this is the earliest one I can remember, 101 Dalmatians. Like the live
Aw.
action 101 for a school trip. And I was like, this is awesome. I don't know if that was my first one, but that's the one I remember.
I remember. I don't remember my first movie in the theater. I remember hearing about I got a VHS tape in the mail, and it was from my cousins in California because they took their daughter when she was 5 years old to the theater for the first time and to see The Lion King, but Scar and all this scared her so badly that they were like, okay, we can't keep this copy of this movie. So we're gonna
Oh,
They
so
just
they
mail it
sent
to
it to
Carmen.
you.
They did.
She'll be fine.
I was like, yeah.
All right. What was your first? You said Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. came out in 2001. It's the first one I remember.
Okay, mine's the same way. This is the first one I can remember.
We'll check it with Vanessa
Went
later.
just with it was just me and my dad, and I don't have very many memories of things with just me and my dad.
Yeah.
Or at all.
Or at all, yeah.
Like besides like being outside playing basketball and stuff like that,
Right.
and but like going out
Like
and
a
doing
big-
stuff, like going
yeah.
out and doing something with just me and my dad. He took me to see the original Jurassic Park
Yeah.
in theaters in 1993.
Dude.
You know who, well,
That's
I can't
And-
talk about that, actually.
That's cool. That's cool.
So you remember that movie,
I
obviously.
love Jurassic movies.
So do you remember the scene where the Velociraptor, it's like a jump scare?
Mhm.
You remember that? Oh, I screamed so loud. I was just like, 5.
93, let's see.
I was
93.
5.
Wait,
yeah.
you went to see that movie when you were 5?
I love dinosaurs.
That boy Jim. That boy needs to grow up, right? He's
Take
gonna
it to
learn
the
about
boy.
dinosaurs right now.
The boy must grow to be a warrior. Who better to teach them?
I can see, like, even if you was tore up coming down there crying, like if it'd been that same. Now, buddy, just get you a little bit of water.
Now, buddy, you know I ain't real.
Did
You
you
know I
already-
ain't them dogs' real voices.
Just walk it off.
Did you already say your movie and I forgot?
I said you and Jacob were talking about something way more important.
Yeah, of course.
No, I said the earliest one I can remember. I know we went and saw Jurassic Park, but I remember the one that stands out to me was 101 Dalmatians,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
live
yeah.
action film. I don't think that was the first one, but it was like
You
know,
remember
well,
it,
I'm going to
though.
Mm-hmm.
I loved going. I still love going to the movie. I just don't go because we're in ministry and you got to have money.
All right,
I'm just kidding.
let's do rapid fire real quick.
Before we end,
Yeah, before
Okay.
we end. All right, favorite childhood sitcom.
Sitcom.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay,
Full
I'm-
House. I bought the box set.
Yeah. It
All
was,
right, Carmen.
I never watched Full House. That's something about my childhood. I never watched it growing up. Anyway.
What'd you watch, Roseanne?
I love Roseanne.
No, as soon as that music came on from the kitchen, my
That
mom's going,
harmonica.
Carmen, what are you watching?
I grew up to be Roseanne.
Why? Here's the thing about Roseanne.
This is not rapid fire.
sorry.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
All right. I think mine was Saved by the Bell.
Oh yes, I love Saved by the Bell. Okay.
Yeah, mine was Scooby Doo by far. My favorite cartoon. Now, if it's a real show,
Yeah, like a real person.
I
like real
liked
people.
Full House, but when AFV, America's Funniest Videos, came on,
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
glued
Dude,
to the
that
screen.
was fun too.
I
Bob
did watch
Saget.
that.
Yeah,
as the-
man.
Yeah.
Every
Oh,
Sunday I
man.
watch that.
He's dead.
I saw something on Facebook today, and it was the intro of AFV.
Yes.
Did y'all see that?
No,
today?
but I know what you're talking
It
about.
was the intro of AFV, and they were playing the intro music, and it was like
The theme song.
It
I
was
remember
like-
when they had the song.
it said "90s kids on a Sunday night."
Yeah.
When this comes on, you realize that you haven't touched your homework for Monday. Like only 90s
Yeah.
kids know what that feels like, you know?
Now, Jacob,
So-
we've talked. I know what yours is.
I used to measure time by Saved by the Bells. Like I'd ask my parents, I'd be like, all right, how long before we leave to go to this place? Wonder where Olivia gets that. How long before we leave? And my mom would be like, an hour and a half. I'd be like, yeah, but how long is that? My dad would be like, 3 Saved by the Bells, buddy. You know?
Got it.
I know yours. Your Disney cartoon that you grew up like was your staple. Yours was Fox and the Hound.
Yes.
Do you remember what mine is? It's close. It's in that realm.
I don't.
It's Robin Hood.
Oh,
That was my. Which you always say. I also loved Robin Hood.
I
I'm
did
like,
love
I
Robin Hood.
love. I watched it all the time.
All right, favorite Disney princess movie.
Princess movie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Does it have to be a princess?
That's
or
what I
is
mean.
it
I
like
don't guess
the main
so.
character. How about that?
I guess whatever.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Really? All right,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Favorite. Skip me.
All right,
Let me think for a second.
What's your name? Caleb?
When I was a kid, I didn't like watching princesses. But if I had to pick one, I
I
liked.
did.
I liked Beauty and the Beast.
Me too. All right,
bro.
All right. I love Beauty and the Beast, and I think another really really good one was Autumn hates this one, but
Lion King?
Yeah.
I hate the Lion
I
King.
loved Lion
I
King.
love Lion King,
I
man.
did. I can quote that movie. I rewatched it so
Me
much.
too.
That's
Timon
probably
and
the one.
Pumbaa.
Bro,
Yeah.
Rafiki
Nathan
was
Lane.
my favorite character.
I mean,
I'll give you
come
that
on.
one. I do love Nathan
What
Lane.
don't you like about Lion King?
All of it. I don't like the music. I don't like any of it. I think it's boring.
I mean, James Earl Jones
Boring.
plays the lion. Come on, man.
I can sing all of the songs.
Yeah, I don't care.
You know what my favorite song from that movie is?
Mm.
Not I Can't Just Wait
Be
to Be King.
prepared.
Be prepared.
That tracks.
And then they didn't put
Because
it
you're
in
evil.
They didn't put it in the live action movie with like the.
Yeah, that was
They
ridiculous.
didn't put it in there. I was sad.
I mean, Scar is a perfect. Jeremy Irons? Come on, man.
That was ridiculous.
It's the woke agenda. They don't, they don't want you to be prepared.
All right. What are we,
Overthrow
what are we,
the
what are we
government.
supposed to be capping this off with?
All right.
I'll get real political and we'll just turn it off. Bye.
Well, first of all, if you haven't already subscribed to our page, take time to do that. Click the little bell so you can get notifications about this brand new episode, and we've got more coming. If you like what you're hearing, thank you for commenting. Those of you that's already commented on the other videos, that kind of gives us a an idea of like, oh, this is terrible, or no, this is great. So,
And so we will. We're gonna do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the future, we'll do some fun challenges and stuff like that. It's gonna be fun. So, thank you all for.
we should put a big scoreboard back here for the duration of all these challenges.
Yeah,
and at the end
that'd
of
be
the year,
cool.
be like,
Who won?
whoever wins gets to pick where we go eat,
Oh, okay.
or
Oh.
something like.
That'll make me and Jacob evil.
We're already evil. Be
It'll just make it
prepared.
worse.
So anyway, we love you guys. We appreciate all the support, and I hope you guys are liking this. Have a great night and enjoy
Your life.
your life. Bye.